Hey, this is Dr. Madi. I'm out with David Fagan sailing on the lovely Southern California Pacific Ocean. Wanted to really take this opportunity to really ask this great man some wonderful questions about what he does as far as building individuals into icons. I personally have sought out his expertise for myself, being in naturopathic medicine, holistic medicine. He's been very instrumental for me, so now I want to give you all opportunity just to learn a little more about who he is and what he does. So David, if you don't mind me just asking a couple of questions to you and getting some feedback from you about who you are and what you do and how people can benefit from you, we appreciate it.
Okay,
All right?
sounds good.
Okay, awesome. So just off the top, what do you do for people?
Well, my company's Icon Builder Media, and we mostly focus on helping people become icons in their industry. And so what I'll typically do is start off with 3 questions. I'll ask people, would you make more money if you were more influential? Would you make more money if you had more credibility? And would you make more money if you had more exposure? And if you answer yes to any one of those things, then you're a very ideal candidate to read my book, Cracking the Icon Code, or to come to one of my events, my Icon Ignition events or Icon boot camps, because that's what we do. We teach people how to be more influential, how to have more credibility, how to get more exposure. And really all of those things are just about creating an unfair advantage over the competition. I know that sounds kind of funny, and there's reasons to collaborate and times to hug and hold hands, but you know, there's still a reason for competition. You know, there are still a reason to, you know, show people why you. You know, people are going to come and say, why you, Dr. Madi? Why am I going to hire you rather than somebody else? And you got to have a good answer for that. And so I teach people about how to become an icon in their industry, how to get fans. Icons have fans. And you know, how to kind of create their own icon solar system.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, I want to give you a scenario, using me as an example.
Okay.
I'm coming to you, I don't know anything about putting myself out there. I want to be more of a public figure. I want to be more of an icon. I want to have that influence and be able to draw in more clients and get myself out there in a positive way. What would be the first thing that you would have me do to really make that happen?
Okay, so believe it or not, websites, I know it sounds crazy, but having a really, really good website, that is the sun in your icon solar system. It's the sun in your marketing universe. Now, why is that? You might say, website, really? I mean, everybody has a website. Well, it's having a website, but having a certain kind of website. And the reason why is because the first thing people are going to do when they want to search you, they're going to Google you, right? So we have celebrity clients, we have big time clients, and as people, especially as they're on the rise, people Google them, they search them, they see the website, what's the conversation, how are they being talked about, how are they being discussed? So especially as people that are on the rise and you know, maybe they have somewhat of a local brand, that's great, but having a really good website that has a lot of social proof on it is really important. After that, having a book, you know, publishing a book. Social media is kind of like Earth in your solar system, you know, it's where everyone lives nowadays. But, you know, it's these kinds of things that will get you more exposure and credibility and influence, you know, over somebody else. Because again, you're answering that question, why you? Why you? So for example, someone comes to me and says, David, why am I going to hire you to help me marketing versus somebody else? You know, I love that question, you know, because I'm very prepared to answer that question. That's what I want all my clients to be able to do. But if they ask me, I can say, well, you know, I was a former CEO of Guerrilla Marketing. I've written 7 books, wrote a couple books with J. Conrad Levinson, you know, the father of guerrilla marketing. I've won marketing awards. I've been on Fox and Friends in the morning. You know, I've been in Forbes a couple times and Washington Post. You know, I've got hundreds of testimonials from clients. You know, I can just kind of go on and on. It just gets to be kind of silly. Well, that's what I want each one of my people to do. Now, that long list of stuff I just rattled off, that's called social proof. So you got to have social proof. You got to have testimonials. You got to have endorsements, maybe endorsements from celebrities or famous people. You know, and some people think that this is about bragging, right? And this isn't that. This isn't you going out there and saying how great you are. That's not what we want. Matter of fact, it's exactly the opposite. I never want you to have to say how great you are. The key to becoming an icon in your industry, and the reason why it's so valuable, is because what that really means is everybody else is saying how good you are.
Gotcha.
You know, you have certifications and diplomas. That means universities and schools are saying how great you are. You have awards. You know, that means organizations are saying how great you are. You have testimonials, endorsements. That means other people and clients are saying how great you are. You know, you've written books, they've been published. Maybe it's the publishers that are saying how good you are. So it's always framed in that way.
Okay, fantastic. You mentioned two things, websites and books. I'll be the first to admit I'm not computer savvy at all.
Yeah.
So how would I go about getting a website created if I already have a very busy schedule, seeing clients, doing everything that I do in my profession? How do I go about taking out the time to actually put together a website?
Well, those are the things we teach in our seminars. Those are the things that we teach in the book, Cracking the Icon Code. You know, it's not meant to be really complicated. The idea is that your site should have certain things on it and in certain places. That being said, there's lots of ways to do it. There's lots of themes, lots of designs. It's really more about just having the right ingredients on there. For example, you know, the testimonials, endorsements should be on there. You know, you want some video that spotlights you. Maybe it's got your awards. Maybe it's got the logos of all the media stations that you've been on. You know, maybe it's more of that kind of thing. So all those things need to be on your website, but it's not you necessarily have to go and build the site yourself. It's just, you know, you can even work with a web designer, but you want to know what to tell them. Same thing with a book cover. You know, the book cover is more important than the book. You know, and we teach that in the event. You know, I'm gonna be speaking doing at least a 3-city tour in Australia coming up. Excited to get out there and meet them. Never been there before. You know, honored to be working with Karen Corbin and her crew, her team, Ken and them. And you know, this is what we're going to be teaching them. You know, there is these types of things. Is, you know, how do they become an icon in the industry? How do they answer the question, why me? You know, how do they get more exposure? You know, how do they get featured on the media? You know, I call it do-it-yourself PR. How to be your own publicist. You know, those are the kinds of things that we teach in our events. You want to come to Australia?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe we'll go to Australia.